Hi, my name's André Garrett. I'm the head chef here at Galvin at Windows. Galvin at Windows is a very elegant styled restaurant. I would say the food style here is a take on a modern classical French style. We try and look at dishes that are got a classical emphasis and classical background and try and modernise them, bring in some modern flavours, some lighter touches. Obviously, yes, we're in the middle of winter at the moment, and Wild Harvest are procuring me good amount of seasonal ingredients. Lots of root vegetables. I'm getting some beautiful baby parsnips from them, some crones, lots of exotic fruits. I'm using persimmon at the moment as well, and pineapples. Obviously lots of mushrooms, red cabbage, all of these type of things. As a chef, suppliers are everything. It's very, very important. We have a good relationship. I have a very good bank of suppliers that I've used for years and years. Wild Harvest are one of my top suppliers and supply me with some great ingredients. But the relationship we have is very, very important. I'm talking to them every day, what's coming in, what's seasonal, how things are going, and this is very important, and we get the best produce and we can deliver it to the guests. The first dish I'm cooking today is soused South Coast mackerel with a salad of persimmon and celery, olive and rye crumb, and a little creme fraiche. So basically I've taken the best South Coast mackerel I can get. Beautiful in season at the moment, beautiful fish. Used a lot now, but absolutely sensational fish. I'm doing a very, very classical pickle, or a souse as you might call it. I'm pairing that with something a little bit different, a salad of persimmon and celery. I get the persimmon from Wild Harvest. Lovely, soft, beautiful fruit. I do the salad with that. I compress it in a vacuum pack just to give it a little bit more of a tighter texture, but then it's sliced raw after that. The celery is just blanched, all dressed together. I make an olive crumb. I get a Gourdal Spanish olive from Wild Harvest also. Dry those out, make a crumb with the rye bread that we make here on site. Pair that with a little creme fraiche with chives and everything through that. So the whole dish it's got a classical element with the soused mackerel, but there's something a little bit different there with the persimmon, the celery salad, very fresh, very much of the season. Soused South Coast mackerel, persimmon and celery salad, Gourdal olive crumb and rye. The next dish I'm doing for you is the main course. I'm doing a whole roasted Yorkshire partridge with parsley root puree, baby parsnips, which I get from Wild Harvest, sprouts, bacon, and a liver jus. So this dish is a very a classical emphasis style dish. Again, very much in season. I'm buying my partridge, my game from Wild Harvest. The parsley root I'm getting from them. I get these beautiful parsnips, which are probably the size of my thumb. Beautiful baby parsnips, prepare the dish, and sprouts and bacon, so very seasonal. We buy the birds whole, or the partridge come in whole, head on, legs on, everything. We break them down. We confit the legs, and they're finished for the service. Obviously then the breasts are roasted on the bone and taken off and glazed up. Parsley root is cooked down in milk and cream and butter, made into a nice puree. Lovely pairing flavour about the parsley root and the partridge. The baby parsnips are blanched and then classically roasted, finished with a bit of honey, get a nice bit of sweetness, but they look beautiful on the plate. The bacon is sautéed, finished with the sprouts, as some of them are kept whole, some are broken down into the leaves. And then to finish the whole dish off, we've got a very classical Madeira-based partridge jus, finished with all the liver that's inside the partridge, keep those strong flavours coming through. And the dish is, I think, the emphasis of what we do here at Galvin at Windows. Whole roasted partridge, parsley root puree, baby parsnips, chestnut Brussels sprouts, and liver jus. The next dish I'm going to do today is a dessert. It's a whole baked apple with seasonal dried fruits, with creme anglaise and a apple sorbet. So this dish has come through the Christmas season, really. We were doing Christmas puddings over the Christmas season. I had all this dried fruit upstairs, and then someone suggested, let's do a baked apple, chef. So I was looking at this, and so what we do is we take all of our dried fruit, like Christmas pudding style, dried fruit, mixed peel, everything like that, and we bake it all with a caramel and butter with the apple whole in a container. Lovely amounts of flavour coming through that, very, very Christmassy, keeps the season going. So then we've sort of modernised it slightly. We make a little Bernoisette crumb, which gives a little bit of texture to the dish. We make a very, very fresh apple sorbet, just with a Paco Jet, blitzed up apples, and a little syrup. And the dish is then finished with a creme anglaise, and we make a classical creme anglaise with a vanilla, with bourbon vanilla. We put it into the Issy Espuma guns, so it gives it a bit more texture, and the dish is dressed like that. So you've got a beautiful whole baked apple with all the fruit and the caramel, and beautiful to cut into, and in a slightly modern style with the rest of the dish as well. But I buy a very nice apple from Wild Harvest. It's a Géravine apple, very French, very, very sweet and fragrant, and it's a good dish. Baked Genevieve apple, creme anglaise, Bernoisette crumb, and apple sorbet.